Hi, my name is Miguel Lim. I've been a EU Marie Curie PhD fellow on the Universities in the Knowledge Economy project. I've been working on the questions around the industry of global university rankings. I set out with some simple questions. I set out to find out who were really the people and the organizations behind these university rankings, which are very influential in the world, and a second question about what do they do? And I sought to build on those questions. There has been a lot of research in higher education studies about university rankings because there are a lot of effects that they have in the sector. But none of these previous studies have really tried to address the question gathering data from within the ranking organizations. So what I've done in the past 3 years on this project is to go to some of the best known ranking organizations, such as the Times Higher Education Rankings, the QS Rankings, and the Shanghai Jiaotong Orwu Rankings, to find out how they're made and how they do things at these organizations. In particular, I spent quite a bit of time shadowing and following and having many interviews on a work placement at the Times Higher Ed with Phil Beatty, the editor of the rankings. And there I discovered some of the strategies that the Times Higher Ed uses to make the rankings more popular and to address their key audiences. These relate to some of my key findings in my work. I like to think of the term weak expertise to capture this puzzle that I had about my PhD project, which was, why were rankings so influential, despite the fact that there are lots of people in higher education, academics, university managers, even a few students and others outside of university who were very concerned about their effects, about rankings' bad effects, and who resisted the influence of rankings. Despite that, rankings do have their effects. Rankings play roles in public policy processes, in university strategies, and have a powerful role in among university leadership issues. And so I set out to find out what exactly was behind their expertise and their influence. I noted that rankings do try to hit 3 important birds, you might say, with their quote-unquote stones, which are they try to produce rankings that are reliable, that are consistent, that are comparable through time, robust, based on good data, which is a big issue now in rankings, in the world of rankings, as well as relevant. And I show how each of the rankings doesn't manage to hit all these birds quite as well with their stones. And that is one of the reasons why their influence is not complete, or their expertise in the sector is not complete. So they're weak experts who have nevertheless some influence. I think these questions are very important because the role of experts is something that we really need to reflect on when we think about who gets a say, which kinds of experts get a say in the ways that universities are run, in the way that higher education policy is formulated. This is true not just in higher education, but in other areas, in other public policy areas. So I think that's an important contribution that my work makes to the larger field of policy studies, the idea of really trying to understand the strategies, the motivations, and the concrete actions of people who are selling or building up their expertise from outside these policy sectors. I've done this in my work on the UNIKE project, and I hope to continue this work in my next research projects. I'm moving on to lectureship and a research post at the University of Manchester to work on education policy and international development. And I'm seeking to build on this research that I've done in that new role. Thank you.